At CES, it was just recently announced here that DTS audio, IMAX Enhanced Audio, is coming at least to Disney Plus under this whole IMAX Enhanced banner here pretty soon. And there's been another step forward, you could say, in lossless audio processing for local media rips and streaming and all that. So we're seeing some interesting things happen in a few different places with regards to audio and codecs and support, and I wanted to kind of share my thoughts and hopes about what that means exactly and where we might be going, what other hopeful things might happen as a result of it. So the other lossless audio news that I was referring to not that long ago, Amazon announced, or it came out, that new version, new firmware software in the Fire TVs is going to allow lossless audio bit streaming, which would allow apps like Plex and all of that to get the Dolby Atmos, the DTS-X audio, full lossless audio bit streamed over to your systems like a Zapiti or a Zedu or the NVIDIA Shield allows you to do. So of the big three, I would say like normal scale streaming devices, or the big four anyway, Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Shield. Now, two of the four will fully support that lossless audio output. The question is, how long will it be before the others might follow suit? Well, I think that in conjunction with this DTS-X news is pretty interesting, because you have certain hardware makers like Apple that are very, very focused on Dolby Atmos. DTS has kind of really taken a bit of a beating this generation of content. 4K discs, the amount of discs running Dolby Atmos audio versus DTS-X is like a huge differential, whereas back in the HD Blu-ray days, DTS Master Audio, I think, was quite a bit more prevalent than True HD. But all these streaming services, all these apps, like everybody has largely gone the Dolby route and the Dolby Atmos route. So to see some DTS support, I think, is interesting. I think a number of devices have lacked DTS codec support, case in point, the Apple TV or the LG G2 83-inch that's hanging on the wall right over here in my living room. It'll decode Dolby, it'll decode Dolby Atmos. It won't decode DTS audio. So if Disney comes forward with this IMAX Enhanced DTS audio, who's to say or when the next streaming provider or the next movie, point of sale stream-based service provider might be providing DTS audio as well. Hopefully this spurs Apple. Hopefully it spurs some of the other platform holders to actually go ahead and support DTS audio. In every little step forward, right, adding codecs and Amazon moving to be able to do the full bit streaming on the Fire TV hopefully gets us closer to Roku and even Apple TV being able to do the same. The cool thing about it is, even if one of these specific announcements doesn't help you, I don't use a Fire TV. I have no intention of switching over to a Fire TV from my Apple TVs. But the fact that Amazon is doing it, right, another one like the Shield, is good news, because it puts a little bit more pressure on the feature. It brings a little bit more awareness to the feature. It gives Apple, and potentially even Roku, more of an impetus to want to be able to add, hopefully, those features to their devices in order to maintain capability, parity, and compete in the marketplace and all of that. And I'm really, really interested to see when the time comes what exactly the encoded bit rates are going to be for this DTS IMAX Enhanced streaming. So, of course, I do a lot with streaming video and audio bit rates using my Apple TV. I know how to get into the background like developer debug info, and I share that for a whole plethora of content, apps, exclusive content, to kind of keep my finger on the pulse of like what bit rates exactly are we getting out of streaming? What are the video bit rates? What are the audio bit rates? And I think we've proven pretty clearly that the best streaming audio that you can basically get for your home use, for your home theater, whatever it might be, is roughly 770 kilobit per second Dolby Atmos. Apple streams that rate on Apple TV Plus and iTunes. HBO Max, Disney Plus, there's a few of them actually that hit up there at that bitrate level. The reality is that's a good bit behind lossless audio quality though. If you look at the actual audio bit rates for Dolby Atmos track on a Blu-ray disc, you might be looking at 5, 8, 10 times or more the number of bits in a lossless encoding than the lossy encoding that we get for streaming. But if you think back to like the early days of like DVDs and whatnot, the bit rates for DTS were always a good bit higher than Dolby Digital in the lossy realm. So will we see a significant boost in bit rate and potentially then audio quality when it comes to streaming DTS audio, and will it proliferate more beyond just the IMAX enhanced banner and come to some of these other streaming services and streaming boxes and all of that? I think there's potential there. We'll have to wait and see, but somebody's got to do it first, right? All of these little steps, anytime we see what could be an improvement, a step forward in the technology, broader, better codec support, and maybe a better implementation, of it, it should be applauded. So I'm really eager. I know some other folks have confirmed basically that the DTS X audio that we will be getting under the IMAX enhanced banner for Disney Plus is not lossless. Could have been, maybe next time, but in any case, there might be a boost in bitrate there and thus a boost in quality. I think we inch ever closer to the day when streaming served content is going to see significant increases in video quality and audio quality. I think it's a matter of when, not if. It could be many years still down the road, but at some point I really expect to be streaming high fidelity, lossless Dolby Atmos and DTS audio on whatever device of choice that I might be using. But of course, bitrate isn't always the sole indicator of quality. That said, I think it is a very good measure of potential quality. So I like seeing those numbers. I trust those numbers, and all else being equal, I will always choose a higher bitrate source to consume TV shows or movies or whatever it is I might be watching in my home theater spaces than the lower bitrate one. So are you excited about this announcement? Do you use Disney Plus? Is your system set up to be able to try out these IMAX enhanced DTS audio signals as soon as they become available? Sound off in the comments, let me know. Rest assured, I will do my best to be able to support this and check it out and make some future content and comment on it as well. My setup doesn't bode well for me right now with an LG TV and an Apple TV, none of which support DTS, but let's see what happens. WWDC now isn't that far away. We're already here at the beginning of end of January, beginning of February, and WWDC is in June. Will we see Apple announce DTS support for the Apple TV? Will we see Apple announce local lossless bitrate streaming capability? Will we see iTunes movies and TV shows bitrates for video and or audio enhanced? The hope is alive. The chance is always there. And again, rest assured, I will be talking about any of those developments immediately as they occur. Thanks so much for watching. Sound off in the comments. Please do all the regular YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Look down in the description for some ways to support the channel. If you would, I would very much appreciate it. And come on back for more home theater discussion and fun.